Hi guys. It's me, Shelly, and I want to apologize to all my Benzo buddies out there that I haven't been in touch for a while. Um, I know most all of my videos have been pretty grim. Um, my last one done from, I think, my car at night. I don't ever watch them back, so I don't usually even remember most of what I said, or hardly anything I said, actually. So if I repeat myself, I apologize. Um, but anyway, I think about all you guys, pray for all you guys every day. I try to post a lot on my Facebook page, um, to spread more awareness, of course, about what I'm going through, what some new friends I've made are going through, what so many of us are going through. Um, but I've been doing better, so I wanted to finally post something that was, you know, more positive and not so grim. Um, I was on Klonopin for 17 years. Um, Almost killed me last fall. If you haven't seen any of my other ones, basically after a detox center, don't go to a detox center if you're a benzo patient. Um, so tried to basically do cold turkey for 2 months, and it pretty much almost killed me. The most horrific experience, as y'all know, that you can even fathom, or it was like a horror movie. Um, and I was engaged at the time, been with someone for 2 years. Um, as you guys know, also, a lot of people don't even know how much they say they're going to hang in there with you or how much they love you. They find that they just don't want to anymore. And that's what happened to me, including just got to where it was just complete, not only abandonment, but torment and just evilness, just beyond evil, and then ended up in a simple battery charge. Um, so then I moved in with my mom, who, and you explain to a family member, of course, that, I don't want to put the stress on you. You've got enough, you've got health issues, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, like, because you need to know this can get worse before it gets better. And you're told once again, we'll get through it together. And I'd heard that before. um, and once again, I was asked to leave. So, and I was doing fairly well, but, a few attacks here and there. But when it would happen, I was treated like I had the plague. And that's very difficult. Once then somebody completely shuts you out and treats you like you're some kind of freak or something. So anyway, thank goodness for my youngest son and his wife. I'm not on the street. I do have a little apartment. That's why things look different than some of my other videos that were done from my home, that I ended up having to leave. And but anyway, that's still kind of negative stuff. I've been tapering from Valium with the help of my gynecologist, a doctor who is willing to help me. Family doctor, no. Addictionologist, was going to help me and then wanted me to take Latuda. After a few weeks, I refused. Been there, done that, have all the t-shirts for all of those drugs. Nothing was helping. I was only getting sicker. That's not what I was there for. So then he refused to treat me. Praise God, I've been with the same gynecologist for for years, forever. And he has a colleague that does, do proper tapering. And he calls me Shell. And he said, we're going to get through this, and I'm going to learn as we go. Because he had already told me he'd learned more about benzos from me than he ever wanted to know. So it's great. It's another doctor who's learning, and that maybe won't be ever prescribing them or whatever. So so I was at 40 milligrams, and with all the craziness going on in my home with my ex-fiance and the police being called and just the stress, I stopped tapering for about a month. But I am now at 22.5. I taper now. I just pretty much one day just said, okay, God, it's in your hands. Emotionally, I don't feel ready. Physically, I don't feel ready, but you know what? I got to start. I have to do this. And I'm just going to put you in control. And I know everybody not watching this has the same faith as I do, but my faith is certainly was tested, but it has remained. I believe without it, I wouldn't be here without it, without the grace of God. And so I truly believe that. And I just said, Lord, okay, let's do this. So with the help of my doctor and just a very few handful of supportive people in my life, and a few new friends who are going through the same thing. Jennifer, if you're happening to end up seeing this, please forgive me that I haven't been in touch. We finally started talking on the phone, and it was incredible. And you're a doll, and I love you. My new friend Jane, and a few on Facebook. And I won't be posting this on Facebook, so so I won't mention the few names on there. I don't know if they'll see this or not. But I have a friend I made in the UK, whose name Rose, who emails me. Rose, if you see this, I haven't emailed back in a while, but life took another drastic turn, twice. And so here I am in my little humble abode, and never been, kind of feel like a 18-year-old with their first apartment starting over, but except I don't have milk crates for end tables. Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that I taper a little bit faster than the Ashton method. I taper 2.5 milligrams every 2 weeks. Most days I'm able to get out and drive and have, somewhat of a life. I've lost, I feel, the majority of people in my life, including my church. People just, I don't know. I don't even want to go there because we all know that everybody in church is not Christian. So I don't want to discourage anybody's faith or trust in Jesus. And if you don't have a relationship with him, I certainly wouldn't want to discourage that. That's the last thing I want to do. So we won't even get into that. But it's been really difficult with the people that, were once supportive or once friends. And then it's like you look around and it's like, okay, where is everybody? It's most days me, myself, and I. And thank God for you guys and my new friends that I can call or text or email, and we help each other. If I'm having a horrible day, you help me. If you're having a horrible day, I help you, and hopefully. But I know I try not to also claim things anymore. I used to automatically say, just like I told my mom, this, well, I said it can get worse before it gets better, because I used to just claim it like, well, it's going to get worse before it gets better, because that's what you read with everything. Um, and so I try not to claim anything anymore, because in my faith, God is bigger than that. And I don't want to, and even if it's not your faith, just owning owning the negative part of it and just assuming that, okay, when I get to 15 milligrams, say, for instance, I'm going to be in hell again. Um, you might read that has happened. And, but I don't say anymore, wow, I'm really, I'm totally freaked out about getting closer to the teens because it's going to be hell. So I try to look at it more as, that's a possibility, but not necessarily the way it will be. And if you guys saw any of my previous videos, um, last fall, it got so much worse. It got so much worse than even what the horror that's on those videos. So I look at it this way also. If I survived that, um, and I don't know really how I survived that, other than I'm still supposed to be here. Um, but if I can survive that, then I try to remember that also, that I can get through this. And it's a very lonely place, um, you know, as we know, even with when you do have some family support, but when you feel like you kind of don't really have much, um, it's lonely. Um, so anyway, uh, it's Cinco de Mayo. Um, of course, those of you who maybe drank, I used to enjoy a glass of wine sometimes, or um, whatever, a little bit, even if I was out somewhere, which is, I'm in Georgia, near, and it's rainy and dreary. It's a very unusual Cinco de Mayo weather here. Um, so, but normally, I've been out many times with friends, enjoying this day. Um, but, it's all good because compared to last fall, I, I mean, I have uh, a life. Um, I did add an anticonvulsant called Trileptal, which was added. I only take 150 milligrams. I was on 300 milligrams twice a day, but I decided myself to break it in half, and only take a half in the morning and a half at night. And the doctor who originally put me on the Valium, who quit treating me, had put me on the Trileptal. So I take that as well. Um, so that may be helping, but I just try to keep it at a low dose for now till I absolutely have to increase it because I want off medications, period. And I'm pretty much, that's all I'm on right now, instead of a handful like a lot of us have been on because we're treated like crazy people. So uh, I even had 10 electroconvulsive therapy treatments, trying to fix me, you know. Um, while I was still being given, 5 milligrams of Klonopin, every day. So it's insane, as we know. And but um, you know, it's 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 like the doctor, this addictionologist. Uh, don't go to one that's also a psychotherapist. I mean, to me, avoid any doctor who's going to tell you you need, while you're going through this, you're going to need an antidepressant. While you're going through this, well, if it's a few weeks, you still seem a little depressed, so I think you should take Latuda. And I'm like, are you out of your, you know, mind? Um, and, no. Um, and what was happening is my body was adjusting to the Valium. Valium, if you don't know, is so different than Klonopin. Um, I mean, somebody told me, and pardon my French, Valium knocks you on your ass, when you first start taking it. And it did. I mean, I could not get up and bathe off the couch for a week, for the first 2 or 3 weeks. It was just, and he should have known enough to know that my body was adjusting to the Valium, slowly, rather than just, okay, I come in, I'm crying. Of course I'm crying. I'm not hysterical, but I'm crying because I'm not feeling well. Oh, you're depressed. Let's take Latuda. These doctors are just, so don't think that an addictionologist, psychotherapist, just, just don't. We thought we had found a good one because he was going to, just taper me off. What he said would not be easy. That might take a couple of years, but he said it would be tolerable. And he knew I was there to just taper off and to get on, an anticonvulsant if I needed it, whatever was something maybe non-addictive that might help a little bit, but no benzo. He did tell me really there was really no other way. I cried like a baby because when he said he wanted to put me on a slow Valium taper, because the last thing I ever wanted to do was ingest a more benzodiazepine into my body ever again. But so far, after those first initial few weeks, so if it's something that you end up doing or whatever, just also know that if you're like me, Valium just changed my personality. It had me not wanting to eat, not wanting to I couldn't function. Even the horror of basically cold turkey when all the other symptoms, the shaking, the pacing, the screaming, the skin burning, the electric shock, the feeling like there's millions of ants through your veins, there's, just the falling on the floor, holding yourself up against the wall, just the complete, I mean, you guys know, just the complete horror of it. I would still manage at least every other day to get in the shower. I might be in that condition while I'm in the shower, but I would still bathe. With Valium, it was impossible. So, if you do something like that, just know that will, likely give it a 4 to 6 weeks as your body is adjusting to a totally different, benzo that several people have told me, oh, I can't take Valium. And I'm now glad that I stuck with it and, never took another Klonopin. Will never take another Klonopin. And if I continue at this taper pace, I should be done by September. I'm going a little faster than the Ashton method because I at 2.5 every couple of weeks is a little faster. For me, it's tolerable. Of course, some days are better than others. But nothing even remotely close to what you've seen on my prior tapes or videos. So I guess I just wanted to kind of finally post something that showed a little bit more encouragement. It doesn't mean a month down the road that I might come back and be like, hey guys, you know, it's still, it's rough. Well, we don't know, but I'm trying to stay positive with where my life is now. you know. I should have been married now instead of, um, you know, trying to get used to apartment living, which, but still feeling blessed that I'm not on the street. Because myself, when this all started about 4 years ago, and we didn't know what was going on, what was happening, I had to go on disability. That's quite humbling. Um, so, so even to do this and to be not on the street, I I had to, have, you know, help. Um, and um, and my Casey and his wife Amber have been my angels. Um, I have, um, I know I get emotional thinking about it, so excuse me. But so I just want to wish all you guys the best. Usually I don't go check my YouTube page much. If you go to the social part of Gmail, it'll show you if you've had activity on your videos. My life has been so insane for the past few months, with moving now twice, and just stress at the worst time in your life, and that I haven't really checked that. So if I haven't responded, to if you've posted something and I haven't responded, I'm really sorry. And hopefully you'll see this, and and I'll try to now keep up with that, a little better. Um, I'm going to add one right after this, that I can also put on Facebook, because I don't post them on Facebook anymore. If someone chooses to, they know that I have this YouTube page. If they choose to subscribe and follow me, then that's great. But I found that putting them on Facebook, and then, when there's little or not much response, and people just kind of say to you they don't, well, we don't know what to say anymore, and I get it. How many times can you tell someone on Facebook that you're praying for them, or whatever? But it's hard. It's when you say, please watch this, just, or whatever. But so now I just try to focus more on posting information, and just trying to educate people, and I'll ask people, please, because more than likely, a family member, you have someone in your life, that whether it's yourself, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, or whether it's someone that you will know, that will say, hey, my doctor's saying I should take, this stuff called Ativan or whatever, or Klonopin or whatever, and I'm, then, so I try to, encourage people, like, more than likely, you know somebody. So, so I just try to focus on that. And I'm thankful for the people that I've come in contact with that have introduced me to, like I believe it's the new benzodiazepine information coalition, I believe it's called. Just some other things that are happening, that hopefully, in the near future is going to put this to an end. And that people like myself, whether were prescribed it 17 years ago, or whether you were prescribed it a few years ago, and I was never told anything about it. I was prescribed it just for sleep, never abused it. Um, um, and Unfortunately, a beautiful young lady, I don't think she was even 30 years old, that I posted a video on my Facebook page, who took her life just a few days ago. Um, I did not follow her because I got off of the sites, the support group sites, for a while too, because the stories were actually scaring me. Um, so I felt that was something that I had to do at that time. And but some people apparently had been following her, and just a precious, precious soul and beautiful girl. And now she's gone. And but I put that on my page, things like that, just to let people know that we're regular people, you know. Um, you can call us drug addicts if you want, you know. Um, some, some people in this community, did struggle with it as a serious addiction, because they needed more and more and more and more than their doctor could prescribe, because that's what it does. Um, so, in a sense, I guess we all are, because we are addicted to this. The I call it the devil's drug. Um, so I mean, but and I don't judge anybody. If you were taking 15 milligrams a day, I don't. I don't. Hold on a second. I don't know if that. When a text comes through, I don't know if that shows up on your end or just on my end. So, didn't know if that was all of a sudden blocking my face. Um, but I don't judge anybody. I was in the hospital with amazing people from all walks of life, and that's what this video, that if you go to the coalition site, has a wonderful video that you can post, that and it's done so professionally well, and just all the different faces of benzodiazepines, and their stories, and brief little and questions, and why were you put on it, what were you put on, how long were you on it, and the answer to these questions. And I was in the hospital with, whether it was a manager of a Home Depot or a physician's assistant, or a school teacher. I mean, but people think of it, oh, you mentioned detox center, and it's like, oh, you're just in with a, bunch of, crazy drug addicts. And some had been in that place, but they were good. They were to get help, and I certainly was not there to judge them for wherever life had taken them. And but there are people that do, and even with this. So and people who will say, well, I don't respond because I can't deal with, I'm trying to keep negativity and stuff out of my life. Okay, well, what do you say to that? But anyway, I know this has gone kind of long, and but what I want to say is, because I won't be posting this on Facebook, I was a professional singer for many years, secular music for about 10 years, nightclubs, fancy hotels, everything from the fanciest to the honky-tonks, and sang all kinds of music. I don't have much of a voice left anymore. Benzo withdrawal can certainly wreak havoc on that, especially when you've spent so much of the last 2 to 4 years crying and screaming, and especially last fall. I could have nodules, I don't know, on my vocal cords. My voice is pretty shot. But and then I had a 10-year music ministry. Both my boys are involved in music ministry. They're grown. Just had my first grandbaby in December. And I don't see him much. And they don't live that far away, but I have one son that, both my boys are great, but one doesn't really know how to handle it. Doesn't acknowledge it much, so I don't see my grandson. Actually, I haven't seen him since February. So there's a lot of things that make, that's hard. It's really hard, but you just try to accept. And like my doctor said, just keep the ones that are supportive close. Try not to stress over the ones who aren't. Try not to worry about them, because he knows me. He knows I'm overly sensitive. He knows I'm one that's gonna, be thinking like, well, why are they doing this? Why aren't friends, and why aren't Christians better Christians, and why aren't, why is this family member treating me this way, and why, why? You got to quit asking why. You just got to you just have to take it one day at a time, and just concentrate on getting better, because then all things will fall into place, and just try to understand where people's heads are, and for whatever their reasons. I try to understand it as much as I can, but it hurts. It hurts. I'm not gonna lie, it hurts, and I go to bed crying my eyes out sometimes, which is not good, because sometimes then that puts me into a panic attack. So gonna sign off with this, but right after this, I'm going to sing you a song. It's a song that has kind of been my anthem through this journey. For those of you who are familiar with contemporary Christian music, it's a Stephen Curtis Chapman song, who is my contemporary Christian hero. I've seen him about 6 times. I'm a classic rock and roll girl at heart, so for the rest of you guys who don't know who that is, please still listen to the song. And I say at heart. Went on a heart cruise. Managed to be able to make it a couple years ago, which was a dream come true to me, because Ann and Nancy Wilson are my other heroes. So yeah, I'm a classic rock and roll girl at heart, but I sang for years and love contemporary Christian music, and even a few of the old hymns, and some of the newer versions of those. So if on my Pandora, I'll hear everything from Van Halen to Guns N' Roses to George Benson to